muting all, and then go ahead and just come to your mat. And let's start today in either child's pose or embryo pose. So knees wide or knees together. You can reach your arms, your hands back towards your heels, rest your forehead down. Sometimes I think that feels really good. Or reach your arms out, hips towards your heels, forehead to the ground. And if for whatever reason child's pose is not a posture that works for you, or you just don't want to take it this morning, you can take hero's pose instead. So just this kneeling position, this seated meditation. And please never feel like choosing out of whatever I'm cueing is rude or I will be offended by it. So do what you need to do always. You're the only one that knows how your body feels. So child's pose, embryo pose, or hero's pose. And then just take a moment. Become a little more present, a little more aware of this moment as it is right now. And as much as you can, just whatever you've got going today, for now, I know sometimes you have to keep little things in your mind here and there. You guys have got kids to take care of or jobs that you're kind of trying to make so you can do both at the same time, but as much as you're able to, just let everything else go. And be here in this moment, on your mat, in your body, and then start to bring more awareness to your breath. So let's begin with a great, big, huge inhalation. Fill up as big as you can. Hold at the top in fullness. And then exhale, big sigh out your mouth. Do that 2 more times. So inhale, fill up. Hold at the top. Keep holding your breath, but relax and soften around it. And then when you're ready, just that huge exhalation. Let it go, soften. Do that 1 more time. So biggest inhale you've taken all morning. Wake your body up from the inside. Get prana, life force energy flowing through you. Hold at the top. And when you're ready, big open mouth sigh, release. All right, my friends, Ujjayi Breath. So in and out through your nose, gentle constriction in the back of your throat. And you can stay as long as you'd like, just connecting to your breath, finding your own internal rhythm. As you feel ready to bring in some movement, go ahead and do so. So maybe you start in your child's pose, just walking your hands over to one side, stretching, breathing, and then the other side. Maybe you want to come up into tabletop or even forward towards Cobra or up dog. Perhaps you want to circle your hips or take some cat-cow. So just like we almost always do in my class, a little bit of intuitive movement to get us started, to get our bodies warmed up, and just to bring in that extra awareness so we know what's going on this morning. So every single day when we wake up, our bodies are different. I always am fascinated by how much I feel in the morning, and sometimes it has to do with the way I slept, sometimes it has to do with what I did the day before. So just taking a moment to kind of notice what's going on inside, what feels good, what feels strong, what feels tight or stiff or sore. And I love keeping my eyes closed for this part, so as much as you're able to, just go inward, get out of your head, stop processing every single thing through your head. It's very useful at some points in our life, and we use our heads, our minds, our brains most every day, basically all day long. So this is your 60 to 75 minute break from using your mind so much. Allow yourself to feel with your body. And then no rush, but when you're ready, downward facing dog is our eventual destination. So start slowly transitioning into your down dog, however you want to get there. And then as you move back into your down dog, think of it as just more exploration, more intuitive movement. So maybe moving your hips around a little bit, side to side, forward and back. Maybe lifting one leg and then the other, pedaling out your heels, shaking your head yes or no. So this very first down dog, don't worry too much about alignment. So yes, all of you guys know basic alignment for down dog. Use that, but then explore from there. So maybe allow yourself to round your spine more than you normally would. Maybe allow yourself to gently press back and feel that stretch in your shoulders, maybe through your back body. So anything that feels good to you, or if you want to settle into your down dog and simply breathe there, take a few breaths there, perfectly fine. So as we begin our practice, our main intention is just to bring in more awareness, to check in with how our bodies are doing this morning. And see if you can really use your breath to explore that. So think of sending your breath into all the little tiny spaces, especially those spaces that feel a little bit tighter, that feel a little bit stiff or sore. Good job, you guys. Let's take just one more inhale. And then as you exhale, gaze forward to the top of your yoga mat. You can step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. So once you've arrived at the top of your mat, bring your feet about hips width distance apart if they're not already there. Make sure all 10 of your toes face forward. Bend your knees as much as you need to so that you can bring your fingertips at least to the ground. And then just gently crawl your hands off the left side of your mat and pull your right hip back. So we're not forcing anything, you are not straining to get into the posture, you're just gently exploring the mobility in your body today. Try to keep the weight nice and even through your feet, and then as you reach to the left, feel that stretch through your right side body, your right rib cage. Breathe into it. Breathe down the back of your right leg. Try to keep your heel on the ground, your right heel. So you don't want a lot of weight there, but do keep that heel rooted down. Take one more full round of breath. And then just slowly switch to the other side. So walk your hands through center and then all the way off the right side of your mat. Very gently pull your left hip back. So feel that length and space in your left side body, in your left ribs. And then down the back of your left leg. Keep your left heel on the ground. Again, you don't have to have a lot of weight there, but it is grounded. Soften your face, relax your neck. Keep this relatively gentle, but big, deep breath. So your breath is what you're going to use to get a little bit deeper into your body without forcing anything. Take one more round. End of your exhale, come back to center. And inhale to a halfway lift position. So lengthen, really align your spine, top to bottom. Exhale, let it go. Do that just one more time, so make it feel good. Crown of your head reaches forward, tops of thighs press back, sit bones broaden. Exhale, fold. And then your choice, either roll or reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. As you inhale, stretch your arms to the sky, maybe a little gaze up. And as you exhale, hands to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Let's flow with our breath. Inhale, high mountain, stretch it out. Exhale, slow dive, take it all the way down, forward fold. With your inhalation, Ardha Uttanasana, so lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go, refold. Now press into your feet, lead with your heart, rise up. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Again, just like that, flowing with breath. Inhale, high mountain. Maybe close your eyes as you take your dive down. Exhale, slowly forward fold. With your inhalation, lift halfway. So get all the rounding out of your back. You should be gazing down so the back of your neck is long. Exhale, fold, bow in, and then press into your feet. This time, lead with your heart. Everybody, reverse swan dive all the way up. Inhale, stretch, reach, maybe gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, inhale, take your arms to the sky. And then exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. So getting into the fronts of our shoulders, roll your shoulders back and down and really hug your shoulder blades towards your spine. If you can, start to lift your hands back away from your body. And then maybe add just a tiny little back bend. So heart lifts up as your knuckles reach down. Imagine you've got an invisible yoga block in between your inner thighs. Squeeze it and then press your hips gently forward. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Slow swan dive down. Keep your fingers interlaced. With your inhalation, halfway lift. Keep your hands clasped. So use the strength in your back body. Squeeze those back muscles around your spine as you lengthen. Exhale, fold. See if you can be here for about 2 or 3 rounds with your fingers interlaced. So weight is slightly forward in your feet. Lift through your butt, through your sit bones, and then lift your knuckles high. Maybe even start to reach them forward. Relax your neck, let your head hang. Maybe you shake yes or no. Good work. Soften your face. One more big inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your low back and gently release your clasp. So let your arms hang for a moment. You can give them a nice little shake out. And then as you're ready, let's plant our palms and step our feet back, plank position. So think of really pushing the ground away with your hands. Take a big, huge inhale into your plank. And then as you exhale, from your belly button, lift your hips and press them back, downward facing dog. So moving from your center, inhale, come forward, high plank. See if you can come way forward, start on your tippy toes, and then exhale, lift your hips, press them back, down dog. This time we'll add a push-up. Inhale, high plank. Come to your knees if you want. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, takes you back, down dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. If you want to modify, please bring your knees down. Exhale, lower halfway. Don't let your shoulders roll forward. Inhale, press up. Exhale, takes you back, down dog. You're welcome to stay here and wait if you want. Otherwise, inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Back bend of your choice as you breathe in. Take an extra breath or two if you want. And then no rush, but eventually we'll see you back in downward facing dog. All right, my friends, once you're back in down dog, reconnect to your strong, deep breaths. All right, listen carefully. This is a little bit different. So from your down dog, next inhale, take your left leg to the sky. So reach your left leg back and up. And then listen, you're gonna start to crawl your hands to the back of your mat until you find yourself in your standing split, your one-legged forward fold. So eventually, all the weight is in your right foot. Your hands are on the ground just to help with balance. Left leg is reaching really high. So stretch your left leg as high as it will go. Spread through your left toes. If there is a variation you want to work with, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, just stay where you're at and breathe. Let your neck relax. Let your head be heavy. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds. So really working that length in your legs, that strength in your center. So imagine there's an invisible rope attached to your belly button. It's pulling up towards the sky. Take one more great big inhale. See if you can lift your left leg a little higher. And then as you exhale, keep your left leg lifted, crawl your hands forward. So you want to come into a 3-legged plank position. Shoulders over wrists. From here, we'll rotate onto the outer edge of our right foot. Vashisthasana, side plank. Left arm to the sky. So your left leg is still floating if possible. If you want to modify, please feel free. So modifications, you can bring your left foot down in front of you like I'm doing right now. You can also bring your bottom knee to the ground. Option to reach your left arm forward. See if you can lift your hips higher. And then option, only if you want to, only if you feel ready, turn it into a little wild thing. So left tiptoe step back behind you, heart opens, hips press towards the sky. Wherever you're at, take one more great big huge breath, fullest expression. End of your exhale, plank or modified plank. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale all the way to your belly, everybody. All right, from your belly, extend your right arm straight out to the right with your palm facing the ground. So setting up for shoulder pigeon. Turn your head to the left, roll onto your right side body. So you should come onto the outside of your right hip. Left knee can bend and your left foot comes down behind you. Or if there's a different variation you would rather take, that's fine with me. Your pose, your expression, give it about 4 or 5 deep breaths. Keep pressing your right palm, even your right fingertips down into the ground. So try not to lock out your right elbow. If you feel like your right elbow locks out and there's really nothing you can do about it, then bring your right arm into more of a cactus or a goalpost position. Try to keep your neck relaxed. Head should just be resting against the ground. And then there are different options you can take with your left arm and your left leg, so you're welcome to go there if you'd like. Take about 2 more deep breaths. Nice job, my friends. All right, end of your next exhalation. Let's slowly roll back onto our belly. And then for now, we're just gonna stick with that right side for now. We'll get the left side in a moment. Bring your hands to frame your mid-ribs. Press up to hands and knees. Tabletop position. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Take your right arm forward and your left leg back. Spinal balance. So first find this long, strong line of energy from fingertips back to toes or back to your heel. Draw your belly button in and up. Take one more big inhale. Think of pulling yourself apart. As you exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip. So right where your leg meets your upper body, your torso. And then think of pushing your right hip back. So I like to take the skin on the inside of my hip, kind of roll it out and push it back. Start to turn your upper body to the right, so your chest starts to open to the right. And then eventually see if you can reach your right arm to the sky. So this is just like a revolved half moon, but you're on your hands and your knees. So remember how this feels. Strong through your back leg. Squeeze your inner thighs, twist from your center. Take one more full round of breath. And then end of your exhale, reach your right arm back, bend your left knee, grab hold of your left foot. See if now you can square your shoulders forward. So turn to look forward, lift your heart, and then kick foot into hand. Pull hand back into foot, hug in with your inner thighs, spread your toes, open through the front of your heart, breathe down into your belly. Take about 2 more rounds. Good job, my friends. Fullest expression, last big breath. End of your exhale, slowly release, inhale, spinal balance. So right arm forward, left arm back. Exhale, bring it down, hand and knee to the ground. All right, Take your right leg and extend it straight out to the right with your toes facing forward. So it's like you're in a half wide-legged straddle position with your right leg. And then left arm reaches out to the left, up to the sky. And I like to lift to my right fingertip so I can reach a little higher. Take an extra breath and see if you can reach higher. Open up through the left side of your chest even more. And then end of your exhale, thread your left arm underneath you. Reach through like you want to grab hold of your right big toe. Maybe some of you are able to grab your right big toe with your peace fingers. That is an option. Otherwise, just relax your shoulder, the outside of your head gently against the ground. Take any variation that you choose, about 3 to 5 rounds of breath. Really concentrate or focus on breathing into your back body, upper back, mid back, low back. And exhale all the way to empty every single time. Good job, my friends. Slow, deep breaths. See if you can even start to find little pauses between the inhale and the exhale. The space between the breath. Take a couple more rounds. If you have your right hand lifted, bring it back to the earth. And then next time you breathe in, unthread your left arm. Reach it all the way up. You can take an extra breath again if you want to. And eventually left hand comes down. Pick up your right foot. Swing your right foot all the way over so it comes off the left side of your yoga mat, right tiptoes to the ground. And then turn and gaze back over your left shoulder. Breathe into your right side. Long line from your right shoulder all the way down to your right toes. Draw your belly button in and up. Push down with your hands. One more breath. Come back to center, tabletop position. Take it back to downward facing dog. Okie dokie. From your down dog, inhale this time your right leg to the sky. So right leg reaches up and back, and then slowly start to crawl your hands to the back of your yoga mat. So you're coming into your standing split, your one-legged forward fold. Keep reaching your right leg as high as possible. Eventually, you want very little weight in your hands, most of your weight in your left foot. And if there's a variation you want to explore or play with from your standing splits, please feel free. You've got about 2 or 3 big, deep breaths. So lift from your center, right leg strong. Your hips can be square, or you can let your right hip open. It's just a little bit of a different variation. You're getting something different out of the pose. Make sure you don't collapse into your left hip. So left inner thigh hugs in, belly button lifts up. Take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly crawl your hands forward. So you're going to be in a 3-legged plank position. This time, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, right arm to the sky, Vashisthasana, side plank. If you want to modify, right foot can come down in front of you, or left knee can come down to the ground at any time. Otherwise, see if you can lift your hips higher, reach your right arm forward, lengthen your right side. Perfect place to stay, or perhaps you move into your wild thing, right tiptoes down behind you. Heart rotates open. Press your hips up. Feel your back muscles hug around your spine wherever you're at. One more big deep breath. End of your exhale, plank or modified plank. Take an inhale at the top. Push the ground away. Exhale, slowly lower down. Shoulder pigeon with your left arm extended out to the left. So palm faces the ground. Make sure your hand is straight out from your shoulder, not below. If anything, a little bit above. And then turn your head to the right as you roll over onto your left side. And then big, deep breaths. Any variation you want to take, anywhere you want to go. Keep your head relaxed against the ground. If you need to, you can use a pillow under your head. Try not to lock out your left elbow. And if that's happening, you feel like there's really nothing you can do about it, then bring your left arm into a little bit more of a cactus or a goalpost position. Slow, deep breaths. Take about 3 more slow, expansive, spacious inhales. Long, strong exhales all the way to emptiness. Explore in any way you want to. Relax through your face, unclench your jaw. Take one last really great big deep breath. Nice work, my friends. The end of your exhale, nice and easy. Roll back onto your belly. And then hands frame your mid-ribs, press up to tabletop, hands and knees. So wrists under shoulders, fingers spread wide, knees under hips, gaze down, so the back of your neck is long. This time, left arm forward, right leg back for your spinal balance. So first, take a moment to just find that long, strong, powerful line. Reach forward and back. Make sure your belly button is lifting up towards your spine. Take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your left hand to your left hip crease. Think of literally taking that skin on the inside of your hip, rolling it out, pushing it back. Your upper body should start to turn to the left automatically. So you want to continue to work that from your center, from your belly button, right underneath your rib cage. Lift your left arm to the sky. Keep your back legs strong. Squeeze your inner thighs. So remember, you guys, this is like our revolved half moon. We're just on our hand and our knee. We're going to get there later. So remember how this feels. Remember that connection to center. Squeeze your inner thighs. See if you can reach a little bit higher. Good work. Take one more full round. End of your exhale, reach your left arm back. Bend your right knee. Grab hold of your right foot. See if you can now turn your shoulders to face directly forward. So square off your chest and your shoulders. Start to kick foot into hand. Pull hand back into foot as you hug your inner thighs towards each other. Lift through your heart. Feel your mid and upper back muscles hugging around your spine. Breathe down into your low belly. 2 more rounds. Nice work. Slow, deep breaths. End of your next exhale. Release, spinal balance. So left arm forward, right leg back. Take a big inhale, neutralize. Exhale, set your hand and your knee down. Good job. This time take your left leg straight out to the left. Toes face forward. So like a half wide-legged straddle position. Right arm reaches out to the right and all the way up. And again, I like to lift up to my left fingertips so I can reach a little higher. Take an extra breath. Really reach, really open. End of your exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. Reach, 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 and then come down to rest outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. Big, spacious inhales. Upper back, mid back, low back expands every single time you breathe in. And then with each exhale, take it all the way to empty. Draw your belly button towards your spine. Just notice, feel, and observe. So what feels really good here? What feels maybe a little bit tight? Is there anywhere you can notice that your breath kind of gets stuck? And if so, how can you adjust that? How can you allow your breath to flow through your body a little more freely? Take a couple more rounds. Nice work, my friends. If you do happen to have your left hand lifted, slowly return it back to the earth. And then with your next inhalation, unthread your right arm. Reach it all the way up, and if you want, take another extra breath. Reach, 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 open up. And then right hand will come down. Lift your left foot and swing your left foot all the way off the right side of your mat. So take it out to the other side now. And then turn, gaze back over your right shoulder. Draw navel to spine, so try not to let your belly just kind of fall towards the ground. Stay connected, stay in integrity. Keep pressing down through your hands. Take one more round of breath. See if you can turn, gaze over your right shoulder. And bring it back. Tabletop position, downward facing dog. Take just a moment to walk it out in your down dog. Stretch into it. Anything that feels good, just reconnecting to your breath, reconnecting to your body, and recommitting to your practice. Take one more inhale into your dog pose. Exhale, gaze to the top of your mat, step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Once you've arrived, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold in. Root through your feet. Let's take it all the way up to stand. Inhale, full body stretch, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hands to your heart center. All right, inhale, take your arms to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, so just like we did before at the very beginning of class. Roll your shoulders back and down, shoulder blades hug your spine, and then if you can, start to reach your hands back away from your body. Now, we're gonna move into a warrior 3 with our fingers interlaced. Right foot is your foundation. So root firmly into your right foot. Start to float your left leg back. And as you do so, hinge at your hips. Keep your hips square and maybe a little bend in your standing leg. Find your warrior 3 first. So crown of your head forward, left leg back. If you need to let go of the arms, that's fine. Take a full breath in your warrior 3. Now listen, you're going to start to move slowly, very slowly into standing splits with your hands behind your back. So toppling tree, head towards the ground, left leg towards the sky. Like you're on a teeter-totter, left leg goes up, head goes down. Keep your fingers interlaced if you can. Make it last as long as possible. Spread your left toes. And then when you need to, fingertips come down. You are in standing splits. Left leg reaches high. Big, huge inhale. Now listen, exhale. Step your left foot to the back of your yoga mat. So you're in a low lunge position. Take a moment to adjust your stance if you need to. So front knee is bent, knee over ankle. Left hand's going to stay on the ground. Right arm to the sky. Revolve lunge. So squeeze through your inner thighs. Back leg strong and powerful. Twist from your center. Reach up like you're trying to touch the ceiling with your right fingertips. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze through your inner thighs. Twist from your center. Breathe bigger and deeper. 2 more rounds. Imagine you want to pull your right hip back, but at the same time, your right knee hugs towards your left armpit. Twist, ring out. Very end of your exhale, let it go. Let's find a wide-legged forward fold. So hands over to the left side of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Inhale, lift up halfway, spinal extension. So listen here, you can keep your fingertips on the ground. This is your first option. Just bend your left knee so that back knee bends. You can kind of walk your hands back a little bit. Stick your butt out behind you. Spine parallel to the earth. Next option to take it a little further. Pivot your back toes, your left toes, towards the back of your mat just slightly. So heel in, toes out. And then see if you can go a little bit deeper. Try to keep your heel on the ground, that left heel, back heel. Now, final option, pivot your front toes, your right toes up to face the sky. Flex your foot. So keep both heels down, pressing down, and then imagine your heels are magnetized, so you're trying to squeeze them together. Your hands can stay down for support, or maybe lift your hands to your heart. So all this is, you guys, is a one-legged malasana, our low yogi squat. We've just got one leg extended right now. So both heels down if possible. Flex your right toes. Take about 3 more breaths. Your expression, your variation. Breathe into your hips, your groin. Nice work. Next time you inhale, come back to your wide-legged forward fold, halfway lift position. Crawl your hands to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward so you're back in your lunge position now. All right, now listen. Walk your hands forward, float your back leg up so you're in warrior 3 with your fingertips on the ground, or if you're using blocks, books, water bottles under your hands, awesome. So I want your hips square, long line from the crown of your head back to your left heel. Keep your left hand down, right hand to your right hip crease. Just like we did on our hands and our knees, think of rolling the skin on the inside of your hip out and back. So push it back. Upper body should start to turn to the right. See if you can reach your right arm to the sky. Good. Back leg stays strong. Press with your back foot. Lengthen your back leg and then twist from your center. Imagine you're trying to pull your right hip towards the back of your mat. Squeeze your inner thighs. Twist, twist, twist. Take about 2 more deep breaths. Fullest expression. Make your back leg strong and powerful. Now listen, end of your exhale, unwind. Left foot to the back of your mat. So low lunge, hands to the ground, framing your front foot. 3-legged down dog. Take your right leg to the sky. Open up your right hip, bend your right knee. Ooh, that feels so good. Squeeze your outer right butt cheek. Flex your toes. Right knee lifts as high as possible. Big inhale. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, 3-legged down dog, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, or aim higher towards your armpit. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Last one, knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly. Step your right foot through. And then step your back foot forward, forward fold. Halfway lift with your in-breath. Exhale, let it go, fold in. Root through your feet. Let's take it all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, gaze up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, my friends, inhale, high mountain, reach up. Exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down. You know the drill. So shoulder blades, squeeze your spine. If you can, start to reach your hands back away from your body. Now root down into your left foot. We're going to slowly move into our warrior 3. Left foot is our base. So right foot starts to reach back. Lifts up. Hinge at your hips. Keep your hips square if you can. Crown of your head forward, right foot back. Hit your warrior 3 and take at least 1 deep breath there. If you need to let go of the arms, that's fine. I know it's hard. It's lots of balancing. As you're ready, toppling tree. So crown of your head starts to go even lower. Your right leg lifts even higher. Slowly. So just like a teeter-totter, right leg lifts, crown of your head works closer to the ground. Hold for as long as you can with your fingers interlaced. Then let it go. You're in standing splits. Relax your neck. Good job, my friends. Take 1 more big inhale. See if you can reach your right leg a little higher. Exhale, right toes to the back of your mat, low lunge position. So hands frame your front foot. Take a moment to adjust your stance if you need to. Right hand stays down, left arm to the sky for your twist. So revolve lunge, twist from your center, squeeze through your inner thighs. Your left hip wants to pull back, but keep hugging your right knee towards your keep hugging your left knee towards your right armpit. Twist, 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 ring out. Take about 2 more rounds. Twists are so good for our bodies. So use every single breath to go just a little bit deeper from the inside. Last round, your fullest expression. See if you can reach higher, twist a little further. End of your exhale, unwind. Wide-legged straddle position. Hands over to the right side of your yoga mat. So, parallel your feet, straighten out your legs to begin with. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then with your fingertips on the ground, you can kind of crawl your fingers towards the back edge of your mat a little bit. Bend your right knee, so again, your back knee. This can be where you stay. Butt sticks out behind you, spine is long. Second option, or next step, pivot your back toes to face more towards the back of your mat. So heel in, toes out. And then if you can take it all the way, this is just an option. Try to keep your right heel down, don't let it lift. And then pivot onto the back of your left heel. So left toes face up towards the ceiling. Hands on the ground for more support, or lift your hands up. They can come to your heart. Any variation you want to play with. Imagine your heels now are magnetized, so hug them towards each other. There's muscle energy in your legs. 3 more deep breaths. Good job. Breathe down into your hips, into your groin. One last round. Come back to your wide-legged straddle, fingertips on the ground, spine long. Just take an inhale here, everything lengthens. And then as you exhale, crawl your hands to the top of your mat, rotate your toes to face forward again, so you're back to your low lunge. Now, walk your hands further forward, so maybe even off the top edge of your mat, back leg floats up. Warrior 3 with fingertips on the ground, hands on blocks, books, or water bottles if you're using them. Okay, so hips nice and level. Inner thighs face each other. Back foot presses back, spine is long. So you're not in standing splits. You're in a Warrior 3 variation. Keep your right hand down. Left hand to your left hip. So I like to take my left thumb to the inside of my hip. Take that skin, roll it out, push it back. Your upper body starts to twist to the left. Continue to work that twist, and eventually left arm to the sky. Twist, twist, twist. Use your core strength. Ring out. Back leg strong and powerful. See if you can lift it a little higher. Hips are square. Squeeze your inner thighs. Good, you guys. Where's your breath? Can you feel it moving down into your belly? Give me 2 more rounds. Soften your face. Lengthen your spine. Work your twist. End of your exhale, low lunge. So unwind, right toes to the back of your mats. 3-legged down dog, left leg high. Open up your left hip, bend your left knee. Should feel nice. Flex your left toe, squeeze your outer left butt cheek. Allow your hips to open. One more inhale. Exhale, left knee to your right elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, or aim as high as you can on your arm. Inhale, 3-legged dog. And last one, knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly and then step your left foot forward. Right foot follows, so right foot steps forward. You're in a forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow. Now listen, plant both of your hands, step back to plank position. Inhale at the top of your push-up. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. All right, inhale, just a baby cobra. So lift your chest using back strength rather than arm strength. Roll your shoulders back and down. Press down with your pelvis. Press down through your shoelaces. Now see if you can float your hands up, reach your hands back towards your heels. Don't let your legs lift yet. So first, just feel all that strength in your back body. Choose to stay here or see if you can interlace your fingers. Use the leverage of your arms to lift even higher. Now, keeping all that strength in your back body, option to lift your legs. So keep pressing down through your pelvis, but float your feet up. Hug in with your inner thighs. Breathe down into your belly. 2 more deep breaths. Keep your gaze slightly down so back of your neck is long. 1 more round. Float a little higher as you breathe in. And end of your exhale, let it go. Rest your head to either side. Breathe into your low belly, your low back. If it would feel good, you can bend your knees and windshield wiper your shins from side to side. Nice work, my friends. All right, set your shins back on the ground if you're windshield wipering. Bring your hands to frame your mid-ribs. Press up to the tabletop. And then this time, or today, I guess I should say, we're gonna take a seated hip opener. So go ahead and just find your way into a seat. And I will give you a few options. You can choose what works best for you. So first option, we're gonna go with our right shin on top. So left leg forward and outer right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Feet flexed, you can either sit up tall, fold forward, or if you'd rather, your left foot on the ground with your knee bent. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders back and down. This can be where you stay. Otherwise, here's your other options. Double pigeon fire log pose. We did this one last week, so great place to stay. Stay here and work here. Or final option, cow face pose. So right knee on top of your left knee like so. Sometimes I think it's a little bit easier to come forward to hands and knees and kind of work your legs. If you're a dude, you can adjust however you need to. This is really a lot for most men's hips, but find your edge. And then once you kind of feel like you've got your knees stacked, sit back, sit up tall. All right, you guys, so this can be where you go, or if you're in cow face, you want to add 1 more element. Here it is. Left arm, or I guess I should mirror you. So left arm reaches up, left arm up, bend your left elbow, right hand to your left elbow, or right arm behind you, clasp your hands. You can work with sitting up tall or folding forward. So totally up to you. Try, again, not to force anything, not to push yourself too far. So you want to make sure you're in a variation where you can breathe. You want to make sure you're in a variation where you can soften with your exhales. All variations, keep your feet flexed and active. That'll protect your knees and your ankles. Make sure you're not pulling on those tendons and ligaments. Take about 5 more breaths wherever you are at. Good job, friends. Bigger, more spacious inhales and longer, stronger, more complete exhales. If you're in that variation of cow face with your arms behind you and it is not serving you any longer, then let it go. Just focus on your legs, your hips. You've got about 3 more deep breaths. All variations, try to keep both sit bones rooted to the ground. Allow whatever sensation is there to just be there. Soften around it. Last couple breaths. Exhale out your mouth if you'd like. Good job. And then if you're folded forward, just slowly roll it up. If you have your arms behind your back, let them go. Then roll it up. All right, everybody, you can kind of lean back and uncross your legs. Give your legs a nice little shake out. We're going to do something different in between sides than we usually do in my class. I did this pose the other day in a yin class, and I was like, oh my gosh, my legs feel brand new. So, first, we're going to do this pose twice, and the second time we will go a little deeper. So, kind of flip over, and we're going to come into a kneeling position, knees together. So, knees together, feet apart. And then, with my knees together, feet apart, I'm going to take my hands to my calves and kind of move the muscles out to the side. So, I'm not squishing the muscles. And then I'm going to sit back, butt to the ground. If that doesn't work for you, then sit up on some pillows, some blankets, or some blocks, whatever you've got at home. So if your butt needs to be higher up, that's fine. Otherwise, butt to the ground. Think of spreading your toes and pressing your toenails down, even your baby toe, your pinky toe. Keep your knees together, feet apart. Just sit up as tall as you can for about 5 more rounds. Just sitting, just breathing. If you want to start taking it a little bit deeper, we won't go all the way yet, but you can bring your hands behind you and just start to lean back. As you lean back, don't let your knees come apart. Don't let your belly let go, so keep drawing navel to spine. Keep pressing down through all 10 toenails. Spread your toes. Press down through your pinky toe. Last couple of breaths. Good work. And then slowly come out of it so you can crawl your hands in, lift up. Flip it back over, so sit your hips back behind you. Give your legs a nice little shake out again. And then we'll find our hip opener on the other side. So, left on top, or if you did left on top last time, just make sure you switch it up. Same options. Bottom leg extended, or bottom foot on the ground with your knee bent. Double pigeon, fire log, or cow face. So, left knee on top of right. If it's helpful, come forward, hands and knees. Adjust however you need to. And then sit back. Sit bones to the ground. Knees stacked. And then with your left knee on top, your right arm will now be on top if you're taking that arm stretch. So right arm on top, left knee on top. Or if your right knee is on top, then your left arm is on top, just opposite. I know that's a lot of left and right to remember. Hopefully you can figure it out. And if those arms don't serve you, then don't add them. You don't need to. It's only if it will work for you, benefit your body today, this morning. Sit in a nice upright position or work with folding forward. Big deep breaths. Try to keep both sit bones rooted to the ground. And if you are like me and you've got a lot of sensation happening, this is quite uncomfortable. I definitely don't want to stay here all day long. But for just a couple more minutes, can you sit and breathe deeply? Soften with your exhales. Let's take about 3 or 4 more deep breaths. Good job, friends. Last couple of rounds. Exhale out your mouth if you'd like. If you did add those arms, release them first. If you're in a forward fold variation, slowly roll it up. Head lifts very last. Good job. You can lean back, uncross your legs, give them that nice little shake out. And then one more time in our kneeling position. So it's very similar to hero's pose, but your knees are together and your feet are wider than your hips. So knees together, feet apart. Take your hands to your calves and kind of push the musculature out to the sides as you sit back. Butt to the ground if possible. If that's not possible, no big deal. Bring something underneath your butt and sit up wherever you are at. Your pose, your variation. If this does not work for your knees at all, your modification, you can take a bridge pose instead. All right, so keeping knees together, toenails press into the ground. Again, start to lean back. And this time, maybe you go a little deeper. So I'm gonna bring my forearms down and I'm gonna keep toning my belly. So rather than my ribs and my belly going way up towards the ceiling like I'm doing a back bend, I wanna keep a little tone in my belly. But I do want to feel like I'm doing a slight back bend in my upper back so my chest is open. My shoulders aren't rolling forward. If you are able to take it all the way down, ooh, and if you can't, again, don't force it. Go ahead and lay down. Once you're laying down, think of pressing the back of your ribs towards the ground. It won't happen, but at least have that intention. Create that action. Keep pressing down through your toenails. Some of you, it might feel good to reach your arms overhead. Give yourself about 5 more breaths. If it becomes too much, come to a variation that's a little bit less. Keep knees together, feet apart. Spread your toes to protect your knees. It's a lot, so if it becomes too much, you guys come out of it a little bit. Last couple of rounds. Nice job. And then ease your way out as gracefully as possible. If you're all the way down on your back, that's going to be a little harder. If your hands are on the ground, start to curl them forward and then lift up. Ooh, feels good. Unwind. So just sit back, take your legs out in front of you, give them a nice little shake out. And then ease your way down onto your back. Arms overhead, legs forward. Take a full body stretch. So listen carefully. Full body stretch. Palms should be facing towards the sky. So big, huge inhale. And as you inhale, you'll feel your mid and lower back lift away from the ground. Now, as you exhale, I want you to press down through the back of your ribs and your low back. So engage your core. And then press through the backs of your hands and press through your heels. So imagine you're creating a seal against the ground with your back body. Keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. And release. Inhale, reach further, get longer. And exhale again. Everything presses down. Back of your ribs, low back, back of your hands, back of your heels. Press, press, press. Engage your core. Press, press, press. Inhale, release. You've got one more. So reach even longer. Reach, 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 reach. Let your lower and mid back lift. And then exhale, create that seal one last time. So back ribs, low back, back of your hands, back of your heels. Press down. Press, 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 press. And release. Good job. One last big full body stretch. Inhale. Exhale, hug just your right knee towards your belly. Supine spinal twist. Right arm out to the right. Roll over onto your left side. You can gaze up or over your right shoulder. And if you want to, you're welcome to extend your right leg. You can use a strap if you have one at home. Otherwise, right knee bent, maybe left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Just very gently press. Breathe into your belly. I know today's practice was a little bit different. I'm kind of, I guess, partially for my own entertainment purposes to keep it interesting for myself. I'm kind of getting a little more creative, expanding my practice or even my teaching practice a little bit. Some people I know really like to stay how things are. They don't like change. Most of us don't like change. So whether or not you like the difference, can you just embrace it and just take it as it comes without judgment, without reaction, just being present with your body, present with your breath, and being open to change, to possibility. I think a lot of us, we get into habits, even in our yoga practice. This is, I guess, my personal soapbox, but people love Bikram yoga so much, partly I feel like because they do the same poses in the same order every single time, and there's nothing wrong with that, but once you do the same thing every single day for 5 years, your body is just used to it. So I think changing things up is one of the best things we can do for ourselves, for our inner body. All right, let's take one last breath in our twist. And then come back onto your spine. Left leg stays extended. Hug your right knee all the way up towards your armpit. Give it a great big squeeze, 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 and then half happy baby with your right leg. And not only is it good for our bodies, it's good for our minds, keeps us on our toes. So as soon as we get used to doing something, we kind of tune out once we're there. So the point of our practice, the intention of our practice is always to just stay present, to approach it as a beginner's mind. Always open to learning new things, having new experiences, maybe in the same pose, just feeling it in a different way. Same thing in life. All right, release your right leg. Take it out next to your left leg. If you want, you can just give your legs a very gentle shake out. And then right leg extended, left knee draws in, supine spinal twist, other side. So left arm reaches out to the left. I like to scoot my hips over to the left a little bit. Roll onto your right side. Gaze up or over your left shoulder. Your variation, your expression. Big, deep Buddha belly breaths. Close your eyes and go deeper and deeper in. also love these deep power practices, holding the poses a little bit longer rather than just flowing right through them. I feel like that is how we get into the pose. We get all the juice out of the pose. We find those little tiny adjustments, those little tiny micro adjustments. You can't even see them, but you feel them. And sometimes that is your huge aha moment. That completely changes what you're getting from the pose, what you feel inside. So I know sometimes it's more entertaining, more interesting perhaps, to just flow, to keep the practice going. It's harder to be still, to sit in poses, to feel uncomfortable in poses, to feel sensation, but it is so, so good for us to learn how to relax and soften around that. Take about 2 more breaths in your twist. And I usually, the next day after a deep power practice, my body feels it, and I love knowing that I'm creating these new spaces inside my body every time I step onto my mat. All right, as you're ready, bring it back to center, hips straight down from your shoulders, so adjust if necessary, and then left knee towards your left armpit. Give it a big squeeze, in and up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And half happy baby with your left leg. Try to keep a neutral spine. Invisible heavy sandbag on top of your right thigh. And then if you want to turn this into a full happy baby, you guys, go for it. You can rock it out side to side. And if there are any more poses, any more stretches, any more movements you want to take to complete your practice for you, please take a few breaths to do so. 5 to 10 rounds. Just eventually begin settling in. You guys, as you settle into your final relaxation, I will read to you. And this is just a very simple quote. This is by, one of my students gave me this book. It's by Ujjayi. And he just says, self-inquiry brings the mind back to ground zero, to bare presence, to I am. Witnessing of this I am occurs in the absolute. So when he says the absolute, he just means whatever your idea of God, of truth, of just oneness is. So this idea of I am going behind, I am this, that, I am a mother, a sister, a father, a brother, I am a yoga instructor, I am even a female, or I am 33 years old, going behind all of that which we think is our identity, just to I am, I am, I am. So underneath it all, feeling into that oneness, the absolute, your connection to your version of God, whatever that looks like or feels like or means to you. And I am includes, I am good and I try hard every day. And sometimes sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I am bad. Sometimes I am wrong. Sometimes I am imperfect, and that's okay. I am connected to that oneness. I am whole. I am worthy. I am enough. I am. So for these last few moments, I will leave you here in this place. Feel free to just stay here and stay with this self-inquiry, what you feel, all the layers that are covering up your connection to your true self, to that oneness. Go behind them, go deeper. And you can stay for as long as you'd like, just being with yourself, with your body, with your breath. I am. Finding that kind of sense of safety, sense of trust from deep within. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to join me, for participating in a practice that is a little bit different every single time you step onto your mat. Taking the time to inquire, how does my body feel? How does this pose work for me today? It's so valuable, more so than we ever, I think, even realize. So thank you guys. I love you. It means the world to me to have you in my space as part of my practice, whether it's in person or online. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.